Hey there, Internet! Now, I know it probably doesn't look like it, but yes, spring is really here in Chicagoland, and eggs stood on its end, and it's time for me to talk about some of my favorite things from this past winter. Now, I didn't get around to doing a fall favorites video just because there were so many end of the year things going on, so think of this less like winter favorites and just more stuff I've liked lately. Catching Fire came out last fall, and I think that might be my favorite movie adaptation of a book ever. I loved the first Hunger Games movie, and I thought this one was even more amazing. I still need to go get it on DVD now, but wow, totally, completely blew my mind. Another movie that I was really impressed with, like so many other people, is Frozen. Oh my gosh, so cute and adorable and a great message and catchy as hell songs. And finally, a movie that wasn't in theaters but I totally recommend is Camp Dakota, which if you're on YouTube, you've probably no doubt heard of this movie. With Grace Helbig, Hannah Hart, and Mamrie Hart, this is the story about a woman whose life falls apart and she ends up going back to work at her old summer camp. Totally adorable. It's just a great kind of feel good, especially when things are not going so great in your 20s kind of movie. Highly recommend it, and I'm so glad to see these women getting success from a great project. The most recent season of Sherlock, these 3 episodes were unlike any others that they've ever done. Some of them I was like, oh wow, some of them I was like, huh? Which is my general impression of Sherlock. Maybe not my favorite season, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Also, this past fall, there was a whole lot of changes going on with Doctor Who. I thought the 50th anniversary episode was incredible. Not at all what I was expecting. Very pleased with that. Matt Smith's final episode, I wasn't quite as in love with. I love Matt Smith. I just wasn't wild about what the episode did, but I am still very excited to see Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor when the show starts up again. Emma approved. A lot of you have been asking me what I think of this because I am a self-proclaimed Jane Austen lover. I have really been liking it. I think that the show taking a little bit of a break there was a really good thing, that they got to regroup, sort of figure some stuff out. And Emma is a complicated book. I have a very complicated relationship with that novel, and I like the different parts of it that they've been exploring in this web series. So if you haven't watched that yet, I highly encourage you to do so. With music, there's only 2 things I want to talk about this time. The first off is the Frozen soundtrack, because it's just so addictive in your head, like brain candy. And the songs that you can sing with are awesome, but I also like listening to the orchestral score when I'm trying to work on stuff, which is cool. And then also number 2 is Bastille, their latest album, Bad Blood. I've basically been listening to these 2 CDs on repeat, nonstop, in my car, no regrets. They are amazing. If you haven't listened to Bastille, they have more than just their great song Pompeii. That whole album is just awesome. It wouldn't be a favorite things episode if I didn't talk about books here, so of course, first off, Cress is finally out in the world, which just makes me so happy. I will never not love the Lunar Chronicles, so if you haven't read this series yet, just do it, guys. Just do it. Neil Gaiman's latest adult novel, The Ocean at the End of the Lane, blew my mind. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. It was just incredible. I don't know how he does it. And this is something that it wasn't this past winter. Technically, it was already spring, but I can't wait to share it with you all. My brother and sister-in-law went to Ireland, and while they were there, they got me a copy of Harry Potter in Latin. Oh my gosh, this is a thing, and it's just so cool. So this exists in the world, and it's mine, and this is one of the coolest books I own, and I own a lot. You guys know that, so yay! Thank you, cool family. This winter has kind of been awful here in the Midwest and Chicagoland. It has been brutal. It was in the negative 40s. I had more cold days for the school district I work with this year than I have in my entire life. It was crazy. So I didn't go out too much other than various family birthdays. One thing, though, that I did absolutely love was going to see Once, the musical, this past fall. Heard about the movie Once? Well, they turned it into a stage musical in a way that was just so subtle and perfect and quaint and lovely, and I just can't say enough good things about how this production was staged. And also, this past winter we had the Olympics, which I am a huge fan of the Olympic Games, so getting to watch that for 2 weeks was pretty freaking awesome. I enjoyed that thoroughly. So those are some of my favorite things from the past few months. I hope to get back in the habit of doing these. If you guys have any comments on things I've talked about, questions, please leave them down below and I will be happy to answer you. That's it for me for now. Take care. Bye!